Good morning, gang. Happy Sunday morning. So I'm going to start today with a question, like I usually do. Okay. Has the great experiment failed? The United States was originally built to welcome everybody. We were going to be a country of immigrants. Anybody and everybody was welcome. It was something that really had never succeeded, never been tried anywhere in history, and failed every time. You can look at history, look at the Shiites and the Sunnis in the Middle East. Okay, they hate each other. You look at the Chinese and the Japanese in the 20th century, they hate each other. You look at the Russians and the Ukrainians in the 21st century, they hate each other. Assimilating different cultures has never really had a whole lot of success. And then the United States, we tried again. It's like, we'll do it better. And I think we're finally getting to the point where we're realizing it ain't working. Okay. On New Year's Eve or New Year's Day every year, I give you guys my predictions for what's going to happen in the coming years. And a couple of years ago, I said my biggest fear, war, wasn't war with China, wasn't war with Russia. It was civil war. And I said it's not going to be left versus right. It's going to be racial. Have we got to that point? We're getting closer every day. You look at just what's happened in the news here recently. You had yesterday the shooting in Allen, Texas. Okay, supposedly a Mexican national coming up and shooting a whole bunch of Americans. Okay, was he cartel aligned or anything? We don't know. You look at Oklahoma, say a month ago, and this was mid-April, and there was a black guy who went and shot two white guys in the back of the head because they were white. That was the only reason. Okay. You look at what's going on in New York right now with this whole subway incident, and I think it was 42-time felon Jordan Neely killed by a Marine protecting other subway riders. Yeah, of course, what did you have go on yesterday? You had a whole bunch of protesters in the subway. This kills me, okay? Screaming the idiotic line, "No justice, no peace." So what do they want to do? They want to defund the police. Who the hell do you think doles out the justice? Okay? Who do you think doles out the peace? It's the police, all right? Apparently, you have a bunch of New Yorkers that want to not only defund the police, they want to abolish the police. Can you imagine New York City with no law enforcement? The city already has ridiculous crime. We're going back to quote the phrase, the bad old days of the 80s, okay? Under Eric Adams' pristine leadership, criminals just get out. The DAs, we're not talking about Alvin Bragg, just, you know what? You hit somebody in the back of the head with a bat, here's your desk appearance ticket. Oh, they died? That sucks. That's pretty much the prosecutor's idea. It's like, and you have these criminals on the street all over the place. What is going to happen going forward? We all talk about there's going to be one of these eventually that is going to just snap. It's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back, and all hell breaks loose. We talked about last night on the live stream the California Reparations panel. The Kansas City is now looking at the same thing. If you saw the latest on the California Reparations panel, the panel has now sent it to Congress. They've approved it. There were protesters yesterday, get this, that we're claiming, of course, religious leaders or whatever, claiming that the reparations panel isn't giving them enough. The way they figure it is it should be $200 million per person. Where is this money coming from? I mean, $200 million per person. Great, here you go. Your loaf of bread now costs you $10,000. All right. And as I said on the live stream yesterday, kudos to California for saying you have to prove you are an ancestor of a slave. Okay? I'll give you that. Now Rachel Dolezal can't come in and say, I'm black. But I want to take it one step further. I want you, before I pay a penny, because you know damn well California's going to go, we can't afford this, we need federal money. Before I pay a penny, I want you to prove that I have ancestors that were slave owners. Okay? And then we can stick to that. All right? You want to go for reparations? Go after the people that actually caused you harm. Don't give me this, it's been systemic racism, that bullshit line, forever, that's caused us to stay down. No, the fact that you drop out of school in 5th grade, the fact that you can't read or write, the fact that you can't add 6 and 4, the fact that you think that it's better to sell drugs than to go get a job, yeah, those would be bigger problems, okay? We're going to have to get into everything. So we'll take your reparations checks and we can eliminate all the aid that you've gotten over the decades. And by the time we get all to that, adjusted for inflation, here's your tax bill. Okay, let's go that way. But this is what it's got to. We're going to wind up in a race war. And I'm not trying to sound negative toward anybody here, trust me. But you keep poking the bear, and eventually the bear is going to bite. All right? It's as simple as that. People are going to say no. What absolutely makes no sense to me. Does anybody think all these protesters screaming, no justice, no peace, I can't breathe, defund the police, do you honestly think you're changing anybody's opinion? You know what? You're right. We should pay you $200 million. You know what? We should get rid of the police. No, all it does is it hardens people's stances going, you're an effing idiot, okay? And no, now I'm more against you than I was before. And that's where it's heading to. And I said yesterday, and I've said many times, you need to watch where you go, what you do, where you are, what your surroundings are, et cetera, because these people in Allen, Texas, they had no idea as they were going shopping in an outlet mall that there was some crazed lunatic, Hispanic, that was going to shoot up people and kill 9 people yesterday. They had no idea, all right? Were they paying attention? I don't know. Did some get away? Probably. Those that had their head on a swivel might have been able to see cover. Those that didn't, I'm not going to say anything about a 5-year-old, okay? 5-year-old shouldn't even be thinking about something like that, is dead because of failure of our justice system, because so many people want defund the police, defund the border patrol, open the borders, yada. This is what you get, okay? If we want to live in Mad Max, prepare to live in Mad Max. You want it to be absolutely crazy? You want to defund the police? Great. All right. Paul Kersey's will be walking the streets all over the place. Oh, you cross too close in front of me? Bang. That's what's going to happen. Are you prepared for that? They want to instill fear. That's what these lunatics want. They want to run the cities. Gangs of New York style. To hell, we're going down the street and God help you if you cross us. And eventually you're going to get people that are going to say, forget it. Okay? This is my fear. This is where we're leading to. This is where the Civil War is going to come to. And it's going to be all hell breaking loose because are there good people and bad people on both sides? Yup. Okay. And how are you going to tell? You know, it's not like my skin color is a uniform. Okay. Everybody that looks like me is not necessarily my friend, and everybody that doesn't look like me is not necessarily my enemy. How are you going to tell? But in a situation like that, that's exactly how it's going to be. And so then you think about what are you going to get? You're going to have a civil war that is going to be not good versus evil, not bad guys versus good guys. It's going to be black versus white versus Hispanic versus Asian versus Arab American versus whatever. And you're not going to be safe wherever you go. This country wasn't built on that idea. This country was built where we could all live in harmony. Okay, some of you guys may say that was a utopian dream. It's never been perfect. Nobody ever expected it to be, but it worked pretty damn well for, a better part of 100 years. But now, yes, and I say that because slavery's been done for 160, and we started to get more integration and less segregation, and yada yada yada. That's why I say 100 years. Okay, it's never been perfect. Never said there's plenty of people that are belittled on all sides. Okay, the government, all they do is screw things up even further with affirmative action or equity, diversity, and inclusion, and all this sort of stuff. That just makes matters worse. But when you have, albeit a small minority of idiotic people doing stuff like this, you can't paint everybody with one brush. Okay, all blacks aren't gangbangers. All whites aren't racist. All Mexicans aren't running drugs. Yada yada yada. All right, you can't do that. Unfortunately, because of the actions of these people, these small minority, that's what's happening. Is everybody is getting painted with a single brush. Go back to after 9/11. All right. Are all Muslims terrorists? No. Okay. What was the overwhelming sentiment in the United States toward the Muslim population? Oh my God, they don't look like me. They must be trying to blow something up. That's where we've got at this point in this country, is by guilt by association. If you're black, you're automatically a drug dealer, a gangbanger. If you're white, you're automatically a racist. If you're Hispanic, you're already a cartel member, always a cartel member. That's the problem, and that's the mindset people are going to have. I can't blame them, okay? Because every day we see more stupidity coming out of these people that is just amplified by the media left and right. If it's a black on white crime, it gets no press. If it's a white on black crime, oh my God, it's wall to wall coverage for 3 days, just stoking the race fears because it's ratings. Guys, this is the new world in which we live in, and this is what's coming. All right, all the other crap that we have to deal with, Biden destroying the economy, Biden hell-bent to go to war with somebody, right? He's also doing a great job of stoking anger, fear, desperation, and aggression into the American public. People are on a short string. The slightest thing will piss them off. And, you cut me off in traffic? No, people just pull out a gun and shoot the other car. You have no idea when this is going to happen. And their idea is to cause you to live in fear, to hide in your house, to do whatever you can, because the more you fear them, the more control they have. We don't need to fear anybody. We just need to play on a level playing field. Kudos to the cop who took the shooter out yesterday. And I'll say this, kudos to the people who posted the video with a guy with a bullet hole in his head. Because maybe if some people realize that life isn't a video game, that guy isn't hitting reset and getting up ever, okay, maybe they'll stop and think. But as for this defund the police, all this sort of stuff, no. It's time we double the police, increase the amount of prisons, and start locking up these people and throwing away the key. That's the way we're going to get our country back. And not this, you'll stay in jail for 40 years and then we'll deal with your penalty. No. They walk you out of the courthouse and within 30 days your sentence is carried out. That's it. I don't need to pay for your bad decisions. Nobody else needs to pay for your bad decisions. You decide you want to be a criminal scumbag? You can go explain it to God, because the people down here really have no reason whatsoever to listen to you. Pinball out.